Hello from the Normandy seaside. We're here for the Deauville American Film Festival now in its 49th year. And I'm with France 24's very own Genie Godula, who's also the mistress of ceremonies every year at the festival. Hello, Genie.
Hello, Eva.
Now, some of the biggest stars in Hollywood have in the past attended the festival. This year, Natalie Portman, Peter Dinklage, Jude Law and Joseph Gordon-Levitt are all getting tributes, but they won't be here, will they?
No, not this year, unfortunately. For close to 2 months now, the powerful actors union in Hollywood, SAG-AFTRA, has been on strike along with the writers union. And as most of the actors working in that union are in Hollywood, are working actors, they're not doing any shooting at all. And moreover, they're not doing any promotion for their films. Now, the festival's director, Bruno Bard, says he understands the actors' position, their need to protect themselves against the future, particularly in regard to things like artificial intelligence. But he also says he wanted to give the audiences here in Deauville a chance to discover these actors and their films, so he decided to maintain the tributes to honor their careers.
I'm for the strike. I understand it, and I'm in solidarity, especially on the concerns with artificial intelligence. It's a dead end that tries to make it seem like we can replace humans, and the truth is no. It's like replacing Mozart with a computer. Creation is above all human. So yes, I understand their concerns, but of course I would have preferred that Natalie Portman, Peter Dinklage, Jude Law and Joseph Gordon-Levitt were able to come, because we worked for 6 months to get them to attend and we had made agreements. We had the films. Yes, there's 4 less people, but it's not a massive deal. Attendance has increased by 20%. That means the audience that is here loves cinema and they are invested.
And Genie, Jude Law was supposed to be here with his film Firebrand, which opens the festival.
Indeed, Jude Law is getting a Deauville Talent Award this year, which the festival organizers are hoping he will come back and pick up in person next year for the 50th edition. He was also going to screen tonight's opening film, which is called Firebrand. Now, Firebrand can best be described as a historical horror thriller. It marks the English-language debut of Brazilian director Karim Enouz. Jude Law plays the infamous King Henry VIII. The movie is all about the king's tense final relationship with his 6th and last wife, Catherine Parr, who's played by the Oscar winner Alicia Vikander. Now, as the king, Jude Law is quite frankly terrifying. The English actor said that he wore perfume on the set that smelled like blood, fecal matter, and sweat, saying he thought that having that kind of smell would have more impact on the other actors. Here's more of what Jude Law had to say about that physical transformation when he was speaking in Cannes earlier this year.
Once I put sort of everything on, we didn't want to use prosthetics, but there was a sort of process to getting to him, and we changed my hairline, and I obviously had this beard, and there were certain things I put in my mouth, and certain things I did. The costume and the layers, multiple layers of the costumes, and taking on this walk. Once I was sort of in Henry mode, there was no sort of turning back.
Henry.
Close the door.
Henry? Come in.
Joan.
Please.
So no Jude Law, but there will be some big names, won't there?
Indeed, the mother of dragons will be here with us in Deauville, Emilia Clarke, who you might know better from her role as Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones. Since then, she's actually gone out of her way to step away from that kind of character, acting in things like the feel-good holiday film Last Christmas. Here in Deauville, she will be screening her new film, The Pod Generation, which she also produced. Now, in this film, she plays an ambitious tech executive who is torn between her career and her desire to start a family. The film also co-stars Chiwetel Ejiofor, who you might know from 12 Years a Slave, and we've got the clip for you right now.
Everything seems to be revolving around the pod.
The baby. Baby, I'm sorry. I don't see a pod. I see a baby.
Everyone in the family needs to make adjustments to welcome this new addition. Your family dynamics are about to undergo tremendous changes, and these changes directly affect you.
Yes. Thanks for that, Eliza.
Emilia Clarke will be getting the Rising Star here at the festival, and I'll be sitting down with her for an interview a little later on. You'll be able to see that interview next week on Encore. Who else will there be?
There will be French director Luc Besson, who you might know from films like The Big Blue, Nikita, or The Fifth Element. He will be back with his latest film, Dog Man. Now, this will screen here in Deauville just after its world premiere in Venice. Just as a reminder, Luc Besson had his career derailed by rape allegations against him in 2018 by an actress who was on one of his films. After a 5-year legal battle, he was cleared of all those charges by France's Supreme Court, and he is now hoping that this film, Dog Man, will get him back to his previous A-list status. Dog Man is one of the few independent movies in Deauville that actually got an interim agreement from the SAG-AFTRA union to do promotion, so we may just well see the star, Caleb Landry Jones, here as well. Now, he is a real indie favorite, and he gives an incredible performance as a man who was abused by his father as a boy and who grows up to use his beloved dogs as weapons of revenge.
Now you love dogs, huh? More than you love your own family? I do. You dogs, you piece of shit!
Did you know anyone else? Somebody that could show you some attention or affection?
A child takes affection where you can get it. They're my babies. As far as I can tell, they only have one flaw. They trust humans.
Also in Deauville this week, revered French actor Carole Bouquet will be giving a masterclass.
Indeed. Carole Bouquet has been in more than 60 films over her career. She won a César, which is France's equivalent of an Oscar, in 1990 for Too Beautiful for You, Trop Belle pour Toi. But for many of our international viewers, she was a Bond girl in For Your Eyes Only with Roger Moore in 1981. Bouquet, of course, was also the face of the perfume Chanel No. 5 for years, and her talk here in Deauville is in association with Chanel, which is a historic partner of the festival.
Well, there seems to be a bit of a lack of Hollywood talent this year, but there's a raft of other international filmmakers and talent, isn't there?
Right. Many of the tributes in Deauville this week might not have their honorees, but they will often have the directors of their films present. That's the case of American writer-director Rebecca Miller. She will read a letter from Game of Thrones actor Peter Dinklage at his tribute this weekend. Now, he is the star of Miller's new film, She Came to Me, which is a romantic comedy about a composer in search of inspiration. There'll also be American director Jerry Schatzberg to receive a tribute at the opening ceremony. Now, he was one of the most influential filmmakers of the 1970s, making films like The Panic at Needle Park that starred a young Al Pacino, or also Scarecrow that was a Palme d'Or winner in Cannes in 1973. And he will also get that particular Deauville honor of inaugurating a beach cabana. All along here, the boardwalk in Deauville, you have all of the names of famous actors who've come to Deauville over the years and gotten that honor as well.
Another one of the highlights is always the competition, isn't it, Jeannie?
There have been some incredible independent films screened in competition here over the years. Little Miss Sunshine, Being John Malkovich, Whiplash. This year, there is another promising competition of 14 American independent films, including 9 feature debuts. 8 films are directed by women, notably Hannah Peterson with The Graduates, which is a very moving film about the aftermath of a school shooting that won a prize at Tribeca. Among the other films in competition, there's Fremont, which is by Iranian director Bakab Jalai, that was also screened at the Sundance Festival. Now, it features a cast of unforgettable characters anchored by an incredible breakout performance from real-life Afghan refugee Anaita Walizada. Take a look.
Tell me about the situation in Afghanistan before you left to come here.
I don't spend much time thinking.
Why?
Too busy with my social life. Thank you.
Fortune messages. They shouldn't be too lucky. They shouldn't be too unlucky.
Some pursue happiness you created.
Fremont, one of the 14 films in competition here in Deauville this year. Now, this year's competition jury will be presided over by popular French actor and director Guillaume Canet. Our international viewers might remember him from his starring role alongside Leonardo DiCaprio in Danny Boyle's movie The Beach back in the year 2000.
So, Jeannie, what are you most looking forward to?
Well, I actually have a soft spot for a film that's not in competition, but that's in the documentary selection, which is called Les Docs de l'Oncle Sam, Uncle Sam's Docs. It's called Invincible Summer, and it's by French director Stéphanie Pinot Mocha. Now, this tells the story of an entrepreneur named Olivier Gois who was diagnosed in 2020 with Lou Gehrig's disease, told he had just 3 years to live. It's a very, very difficult subject matter, obviously, but it really makes you understand the whole concept of carpe diem, really living in the moment.
Okay, Genie Godula, thank you so much. We're going to leave you with Invincible Summer. We'll have more from the Deauville Film Festival over the next week, and I'll have an interview with Game of Thrones star Emilia Clarke. Catch us then. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Je me considère comme en mission. Ma mission, c'est d'aider.
Se transformer soi-même pour mieux se mettre au service des autres.
Il se bat aussi pour tous ceux qui ont la SLA, mais surtout ceux qui l'auront plus tard, parce que tout ce qu'il fait pour la recherche, on n'en verra les résultats que dans 5-10 ans.
Réfléchir, être dans l'action, aimer, vous faites avec votre cerveau.